Welcome to unMadeGaming. This is a professional stream for professionals, as you can see by all of the makeup that's happening. And Colin's here too. That being said, this is episode 2 of the Triptych, and this is a very serious role-playing game about very serious topics. It's very dangerous. I don't know why I try. Welcome. If you guys want to support the channel and more of these shenanigans, check us out on Patreon. If you want to join the conversation, go to our Discord. And if you want to support these questionably beautiful faces, given the current arrangement, you can do so by donating on that bar there in the middle. That is the corruption bar. It serves two purposes. One, once it fills, Colin gets to do whatever he wants. Currently, it robbed me of my money.
That's all it's going to ever be. It's just going to be that forever.
It's now the rob you of your money bar.
I hate it so much. More importantly, every dime that goes in there goes back to these wonderful players, and mostly gnomes. We can buy more makeup and prosthetic noses, which is the running joke of the day. That being said, I will turn things over to Colin to take us back into what we're butchering as the world of Symbaroum.
Howdy, y'all. So, welcome back to episode 2, Triptych. Last episode, the group got their first job, their first hunt. The Triptych is the name of their monster hunter group. If you have a problem that has a lot of fangs and you have no one else to really go to, you can hire the Triptych, and they will do their best to fix it. This first job involves the hunger grass. A young man came in talking about his community outside the boundaries of Ambria, outside of the clansfolk cultures. A little free town that had hitherto been relatively all right. Then the strange purple grass started growing. It wasn't killing crops. It wasn't preventing crops from growing, but people started to get hungry. They needed to eat more to feel satiated, and that sense of satiation didn't last very long, and they started to burn through rations. It came to a head when a local farmer apparently killed and ate his wife and then ate himself to death. And that was what spurred the young man to come to Thistlehold to find the Triptych and hire them, because he doesn't know what's happening, but he knows something's happening. The group did some research. They figured out it's probably a curse of some type, which means that someone or something cursed the community. They tried to talk to some clansfolk, and that went so well. And
we're looking for diplomatic jobs after that.
Yeah. The characters did not learn, but via a little side scene, the players learned that the hunger grass is a consequence of the starvation beast. No one knows what the starvation beast is yet. So we will pick things up back at the Ruin, the tavern where the Triptych has their offices in their rooms. It is a treasure hunter's kind of place. It has a big pot in the center of the common room that always has a stew going that anyone can have. The upstairs rooms are where the Triptych generally are. The leader of the Triptych, a man named Delton Jakar Jagame. He is in a wheelchair. He's an old guy, and he's like he's the Charlie to these angels, and he sometimes gives advice if he's not too drunk.
I now want all of our characters to have an image where we're posed Charlie's Angel style.
So let's real quick go around, and the two of you who were before can just reintroduce who your character is, and then we have two new characters that can introduce themselves to the audience.
I am playing Fionn Gelgrain. He is a changeling ranger, resident worrywart and sad boy of the party, grounded in all the reality, trying to not get killed. That is him.
And how about Dot?
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm playing Randall Darling, a a very old. I use this cane.
I forgot about it, and then I
I
saw
have a cane and a pipe.
I know.
So I'm playing Randall Darling, a older gentleman, and by older I mean very older. He was a hunter at one point in his life, and now his single goal is to assure that his granddaughter, the other darling, lives in all of this. She just needs to survive, and after last game, he is not sure that's going to be for very long.
Also, that she doesn't marry that wizard.
Oh yeah, that wasn't even in his mind. We're just trying to assure him that he's not touched. If he knows, oh.
So, Gnome, why don't you introduce your character to the audience for the first time so they can make sense of what they're seeing?
Or don't, your call.
As I do this now, I realize I should have painted my hands too. I'm wearing skin-colored gloves.
It's all the flower. It's all the
Fleshy
flower.
gloves.
Flesh gloves. It's all the flower, exactly. I will be playing Royalty Beetle, a goblin baker.
Who moonlights as a monster hunter.
Oh, yeah, also that.
Side hustle.
Very well-to-do baker. Super broke. But also probably like the oldest goblin in the area.
So like 18.
Yeah. Can't you see how old I am?
Really?
I deserve your. That is why my name is Royalty, because no other goblin has lived in recent memory as long as I have.
I just want all the things that you say to be as far as I know. That doesn't exist. As far as I know,
Also, I've
I'm
never
the
played
oldest
this
goblin.
fucking game, so whatever.
Great. It's great. Jess.
Yeah, I feel you, Joey. I've also never technically played this game, unless we count the one shot where I was drunk.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. So today I play. They call me Cutie Pie. The one called Olivia Darling calls me the Cutie Pie, and I am an ogre who is a treasure hunter, but like I break the legs for Olivia in the job that we do. So I'm here to like smash the things.
Perfect. Wonderful. So as I said, you are all gathered in the sort of living room of the upstairs of the ruined tavern. Jakar Jagame has just wheeled himself in, munching on a plate of chili, just messily, just everywhere.
He's licking the spoon.
And he says, well, that client of ours has been asking when he's going to lead you to the town. I didn't have a fucking answer for him. So I told him in a couple of days, if not earlier, if you want to be led to wherever this horrific thing is happening, let him know. Speaking of,
Okay.
what do you know?
I don't think that we're allowed back in at least one of the bars in town. We didn't make a very good impression with the little holder. But
No one does.
I did.
he didn't.
Did you?
He didn't.
Well, she always did like younger men.
Oh, gross.
I've got that going for me.
We don't think that the plants have anything to do with the hunger. That's all we got, really.
Sounds like you need to find whatever is causing the plants, then.
That's what the witch said before Olivia insulted her.
Mm.
And then we got kicked out.
That's not what happened.
And
It's
then,
not what happened, is it?
And then Randall hit on her.
That sounds accurate. It
Didn't
sounds
do
like
that.
something that would happen. Right.
She made his knees quiver. It made mine quiver. He did. He was so scared, like a little boy.
Jakar is just like nodding and spooning more gloop into his mouth. Like,
You
I
got
love
some
Randall
more of that
so
chili?
much.
it's downstairs. I had someone bring it up for me.
The darlings would never be bad to the people. They were clearly the winners in this place.
Oh, cutie pie. You are so wrong.
I get told that a lot.
It's all right. It's better to be very big and wrong than very small and right. Speaking
Wrong.
of,
Wrong.
he looks over at Royalty Beetle. Goes, "How's the bread? You didn't happen to bring any with you, did you?"
Bread.
Of course I did. I'll go ahead and take it out of my sack here. And there's a bit of very stale bread. And I'm just going to take a bit of it and crumble it in my hand and hand it to you. Croutons!
I need you to clarify. Did Royalty Beetle just narrate everything he was doing to Okay.
Yes.
Jakar
Very serious.
Jakar just like puts the bowl under Royalty's hand and like sweeps all the bread into the bowl and starts mushing it up. Fantastic. Right. Well, we didn't get paid very much up front for this job. So I'd say we only have 3 thaler or so for you to buy supplies for your trip.
Can we take some of that chili with us?
It's downstairs. You don't need to ask me first.
Well, we don't even know what we're up against. How are we supposed to know what we need to take?
When I was serving in the Great War,
Oh, you
There
never
was a-
served in no damn war.
Another story.
there was a captain who was absolutely unable to go anywhere without proper fucking reconnaissance. One time, we came to a river, and he wanted to go find local guides and find maps and cartographers to find out how deep the river was. I rode my horse into the river, turned it around, and said, "This deep, sir." Do you get my meaning?
I enjoy your stories as much as the next guy, but I don't.
If you want to find out what's doing this, then you go to the place that it's being done to.
Go.
Cutie's catching up.
That chili's really good.
I'm sorry. I don't know if that is all of their sentence, or are we waiting for more words?
If we're going to wait for all the words, we'll be here all day, Fionn.
We don't know any. What do we know about these woods?
About
To the point.
Davokar or this village?
Do we know who? If we cross into those woods, like whose territory did we just cross into?
The
Yes,
Davokars.
you do know that. The area where you know the village to be, and I'm going to ping it on the map. Actually,
Wait. I want to see it.
The map.
Yeah.
Boopsies. Boopsies.
Oh, I forgot to hide it. That's really professional of me. There it is. It's called Roads Home, and there it is. It is in the territory of Clan Odiva. The
Okay.
Odavs are
yes.
one of the more not bloodthirsty of the clans. They have become pretty rich by collaborating with Ambria, which hasn't improved their reputation with the other clans, but it does mean that their territory is relatively safe for non-clans folk.
Okay. So it would be all right if we went snooping about in their forest.
For a given value of all right, it is the most all right it could probably be.
Great. Okay, so I don't have to worry about pissing anybody off, just keeping ourselves alive. Okay.
I feel like we always need to.
It's not wrong.
One bite at a time, says Randall. Okay, as he eats your chili. And so...
Did you just get a spoon and you're eating Jakar's chili?
Yeah, fuck. He's not going all the way downstairs.
You know how many stairs there are?
You know how many stairs there are? Do you know when the last time my hip properly worked was? As I was saying, I think we should, I don't know, prepare for the worst. I'm... No, that was my chili, which was technically his chili. As I was saying, we don't know what we're up against. If we know it's not a plant, then it could be another form of wildlife or something worse. We're not prepared for that.
Right, I suppose so. But also, you don't know that you're not prepared. You just don't know if you're prepared. I think it's pretty optimistic to think of it as you could possibly be prepared for this.
Cutie Pie's prepared.
That's the spirit, you big ogre.
I'm small. Towering over them in their porch.
Right.
I'm actually hunched back.
Right, that's fine. Look, if you want to keep looking into this, you can. But also, we only got paid 5 thaler before the job, so I would like to collect the other 45 after the job.
That is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if we run into a monster, I have my bow, and Randall, you have your bow. Cutie Pie has...
I throw hammers.
Sure. And
Look, if you're worried about that sort of
Beetle's
thing,
here.
you are in Thistlehold. You just need to go out and find some big dumb lads who'll join you on an expedition for almost no money.
Hey, how about that one that stole from you?
Jakar, that's how you found us.
I thought
Really?
we were
Right, that
fighting
is
the
That's
hunger.
That's why I think it's such a good
Not a
idea,
big-
Fionn. You're learning so much from me. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I thought we're fighting the hunger, so that's why the bread happens. No.
Yeah,
How much
that's-
bread you got in that pocket?
I could make as much bread as we want. Provided the right materials, might be a good way to have them come to us and hire them, literally give them food.
How quickly?
I don't know what fucking accent I just devolved into.
I was going with it. I was gonna own it. How much bread can you make? Because last time I checked, they were consuming one another. Because they ate at such a rapid pace. What is wrong with you, boy? I hit you with my my cane.
I'm fine. Just excited.
Are you still scared?
Of the witch? Yeah, I'm terrified. She lives here.
You know,
So do you.
Yeah, and I'm not a witch, though.
well, that's because nobody would be scared of you.
That's not how witches work.
All witches.
It's a little bit how witches work. Pretty sure that's how they work.
I can't make bugs crawl out of your skin. I can just shoot arrows. Okay.
Well, at
Okay.
least you know your strikes.
Thanks, Beetle.
I need to let my dog out real quick. I'm sorry.
Jakar and that damn dog. Okay.
So,
Mr. Randall, do you need more chili? I can go get a whole chili
Jakar
bowl.
put the bowl down to let his dog out, so.
Oh no, Olivia told me you need chili for yourself. You shouldn't take the other people's chili.
I think it's too late.
Oh,
Randall, please at least allow me to give you a finer piece of bread.
Oh, pocket bread.
Ah, pocket bread. Pull out a piece of loaf, sourdough.
I love my pocket bread sour. As I allow you to crumble it on top of the leftovers of Jakar, I consume them as Randall thinks through exactly what we may need for this journey. Is there other than what we have on us, do we have a place to stock up on supplies or things we would need? Like, is that at our disposal?
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely shops. In fact, let me schmoop you over to the map of Thistlehold. There is...
Do we even feel like we need them?
That's true, yeah. So, and here's how this is going to work. You can buy up to... We're going to use a little bit of Forbidden Lands ration system, where your food and water is going to be represented by a die between D6 and D12. And whenever you need to like stop for the night and eat whatever, you roll it, and on a 1 or 2, the die gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then when it gets down to a D6, and eventually it pops, disappears. So you can buy rations that way. You can stock, I'd say, up to 5 dice this way.
Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know that the trip will take to road home is like a day or 2. It's not far, it really isn't. Going, I think you go.
This is dense forest.
Yes, ish.
Okay.
So there's 2 like stages of the Davokar forest: light Davokar and dark Davokar. It's literal terms. So like its forest is dense, but light still gets to the sunlight still gets to the bottom. Okay. Whereas dark Davokar, it's a full-on rainforest canopy where you see nothing.
It's about 60 kilometers, and you can go about 20 kilometers a day. So it's going to take 3 days to get there, 3 days to come back. So you'll need bar minimum
a week's worth of rations. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll want to get a week's worth of rations. Okay, so Randall is licking the chili off the bottom of this bowl, pocket bread and all, and turns to the group. He says, "This is gonna be a long one, and I don't move as quick as I used to. We're gonna need rations and potentially some kind of helping hand, because we don't want to eat anything in that place. No, not that hand. I smack it down.
That is a good hand.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna need some extra help. Every person that's come in contact with this purple greenery, it has turned into a monster, a consuming creature. What's to say that won't happen to us?"
Well, it took months or weeks, I think he said,
for them to get to that point
of eating themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, and thus far only one person has done it.
2. 1 or 2?
Well,
the pair.
Well, one ate the other and then themselves.
Yeah, so 2 are dead.
Fair. But yes, so it does seem like it takes some time. You don't know how this affliction, this hunger is passed on. So there's that to consider.
I mean, we shouldn't. I mean, you already ate the grass, so we should probably be fine.
I ate the grass. Who ate the grass?
No, you all refused to.
Oh, I thought Randall ate it.
No.
I didn't eat the grass.
Little Huldra wanted one of you to eat the grass, and then no one would.
I volunteered.
Oh, that's right. You volunteered. Sorry.
And then I started talking.
And then everyone forgot about it. That's what happens. We should eat.
I thought
our
it was a
own
good
food.
tactic.
Cutie Pie thinks you smoked the grass.
I haven't done that yet. Has anybody smoked the grass?
You snuck some in your pipe, didn't you?
No. It's right here. And I point, and she's got it in like a sample jar, like
Little
an
vial,
airtight.
yeah.
I'm sure she would like show it and hold it up, or we may have it safely put away. And I point. I did not smoke it.
Yeah, so it has been about a day, and it looks very wilted. It's not the bright purple that was described to you. It's even losing some of the purpleness that you saw in it yesterday.
Wait a second. I tap on it a little, the glass. I'm like, it looks a little less fresh.
That's what happened when you pluck the grass. I don't understand.
They're right.
So the question is for the group, is there any other research you want to try in town, and tell me how? Because right now you've consulted the Ordo Magica and you've consulted Little Haldra. If you can think of something else, let me know.
We should not talk to any more people.
How many supplies are you getting?
Lot.
And then when are you heading out?
I say we get 7 days worth of supplies in case,
Yeah. How much are rations?
We'll say it's a thaler for the group for 1 day.
Oh, okay.
And that would be a D6, and then you buy another day, and it goes up to a D8. So you're actually getting a little more than a day because you're probably not gonna.
Okay.
But, so if you spent 7 thaler, it would go D6 to D8 to D10, D12, and then a D6 to D8 to D10. So you'd have a D10 and a D12 of rations.
Gotcha.
If we spend 7?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually think I might be able to cover all of that. Let me double check.
Yep. And you have 3 thalers to spend on rations from the company.
Oh, that's right. Those were given to us. Yeah, I say we would only all need to put 1 in.
I suppose I could spare 1.
I can also spare 1 thanks to Mac.
I trust the darlings. You guys have my rations anyways.
Oh, I point. I'm sure she keeps your rations because Randall doesn't money. Because she keeps his rations. She keeps Grandpa's, everything so that he doesn't eat it all and spend it all
Grandpa,
on gambling.
did you take your pills today?
Right?
Not the Wednesday one.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to probably assume that, he takes
Now
care
the
of
dog
her as
wants
much
to
as she
come in.
takes care of him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the story. So I guess we buy it. I don't know. I'm at a dead end of any other information. I think we're just gonna have to brave it.
Yeah, I think that's it. We had
go
like
to
2
the
leads.
woods.
We had 2 leads essentially, and we followed both of them. So food and go. That's my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, much like Jakar said, dip your horse in water or whatever.
Yes.
For the hunt.
I think I got the gist of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're spending 7 thaler, buying enough food for everybody, and then we're heading out through the north
Okay.
gate.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
That 7 thaler could be 6 if Royalty Beetle drew from his business and supplied some bread. But that would obviously cut into profit margins later.
He just offered all his bread up to the hungry people eating themselves.
That was all.
Clearly doesn't give a crap about profit margin.
It was never big on profit.
Okay.
That's what it is now.
I just see this little Russian goblin with like a Santa sack, but it's just full of bread, and that's all your gear. Is you have a little dagger.
I have no equipment, so
It just sleeps
okay.
in it.
it's just bread.
If you'd like to do that, make note on your character sheet somewhere that you have. We'll call this overhead 1.
Overhead 1.
And we will resolve what that means at a later time. But for now, you Royalty Beetle heads down to describe where this shop is and like what it kind of looks like.
Please.
The shop is near the pious people, the theurgents.
Okay.
And it's pretty close to them. It's where I grew up. And it's stone, made of stone. Well, we pretend it's stone, but really it is made of mud. It's clay. Close.
I love it.
Like a big oven.
It's a giant.
That's so goblin. It's like,
It's
okay,
very-
we have ovens. What do we want the building to look like?
An oven.
Ovens.
Tell me
So-
that is not good branding.
So, you go down
You're
there.
hungry, you see an oven, you come to Royalty Beetle.
You load up with a lot of spare loaves.
Oh, this is a good one.
And as you're exiting, there's a whistle from down the street. Across the street. Because across the street, there is a rickety wooden shop that is painted to look sort of like a box with a ribbon on it. And it says Divinity Beetles Chocolatier. And a goblin wearing blue robes with no eyebrows or facial hair goes, "Oh, royalty, where are you going with all that bread? Have they finally put you out of business?"
You wish, Divinity. I'm
I
helping
do,
people with my
royalty.
bread.
I will see you in the gutter one day.
You're already in the gutter.
Where are you speaking to me from? We're both in the gutter.
I am above the gutter. I put stilts on my establishment. Look. There's probably like just a brick that raised it just enough to elevate the building.
Divinity Beetle like leans goes, "Oh, I have been bested." Oh wait! And he grabs where there should be like a step, and he grabs it, and it's just like he rips a curtain away. So there are 2 bricks lifting his shop off, but only on one side, so it's like kind of tilted. He goes, "Aha! Now who is the one who is higher up?"
That's Divinity.
Royalty!
I want this to be a cartoon. This deserves to be an animated series.
We're done playing Symbaroum. We're just going to watch this
Is
happen.
this how Symbaroum is?
I love
I
this
don't
game.
know.
I love it
I don't
so
know.
much.
This is how the
Cutie
game is.
Pie is just standing in the middle of these 2 gobbles talking and just back and forth and just
Every once in a while, like the camera cuts to Cutie's perspective, and like there's just the gentle susurration of the wind and all the sounds. It's like womp 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 womp, and like a bird flies by.
Yeah.
All right. So you've stocked up, and you go and find a young man. This is a young man named Thraben, is his name. And he says he will lead you to roads home.
How does he look after 24 hours? Does he look about the same?
About the same. I mean, when you meet him, he is eating. He's come in pretty frequently to the ruin to snag a bowl of stew here or there. And apparently he's been like carefully rationing. He explains that he has been like going to the store and finding the cheapest food he could and like making big meals that will like fill him up on like as little money as he could. He's really trying to negotiate his way around this curse.
Braden is doing the meal prep.
Yeah, he's going on Meal Prep Sunday, the subreddit. He's getting a lot of advice. Quinoa, apparently,
I hate
way
him.
to go.
Did he invest in the Instapot?
He's got mason jars of
Rice cooker.
Yeah. So, the
Really,
group
really
sets
attack right
off. the group sets off the next morning and heads into Davokar. Davokar is very clearly demarcated. The Ambrians make it a point to clear forest and vegetation right where the tree line is. So there's like no ambiguity about where the line between the Kingdom of Ambria and what they see as the barbaric wilds are. You're heading on what serves more or less as a road. This is a pretty well-worn track that has the twin ruts of wagons and carts. Because, as I said, Ambrians do trade with the clansfolk. They do head north towards the holy plateau of Carvosti. So it's not super unusual for people to be passing this way. It's much sparser a road, and it's not worked in all. So it's good that you're on foot. If you had to try and take a cart here, it would get pretty tough pretty quickly.
Nobody has the coin for carts.
Not yet. When you strike it rich, as monster hunters.
I've been saving up for a cart my whole life.
So you all have 3 days of travel. So roll your ration die 3 times. Unfortunately, you have Thraben with you. He has his own supplies, but he is very hungry. So I'm going to impose a -1 to this roll. So.
Well, make him eat all the stale bread.
You can do that.
He can start with his legs.
And you said D10, D12?
Yep, so you have 2 ration die. One is a D12, one's a D10. It's your choice which one to roll.
Oh, I see.
And we all roll with a -1.
One person
Just
rolls.
Just one,
Oh.
one
It's a
group.
group.
Yeah, it's a party thing.
Well, go for it, Rollsy.
Oh, no,
bread.
but
Mostly your bread anyway.
Roll.
all right. So, do we want a D10 or a D12?
Either one.
Which one do I know what looks like? All right, we will go with the 10. That is a 4 with a -1, so 3.
So we're
That's
fine.
good.
How that
so
works.
it stays the same
5.
die size.
Great.
After the first day's travel, you find a camp in a small, it's almost like a sea note that some vegetation had rotted underneath a hill, and the hill had just like sunk down into like a little pit, and it gives you good shelter, enough so that you can build a fire that is largely invisible outside of your little pit. What do each of you do at the end of the night? What are your like going to bed rituals like? Are you someone who likes to stay by the fire and tell stories, or are you like off on your own reading? What does that look like?
So Fionn, much like in the previous episode, he has his nightly sort of weird prayer ritual. He has more or less turned his back to the ways of the Ambrian theology when they said, "Ooh, you're a dirty changeling, get out of here." And he sort of holds to the strange religions of the clansfolk. He has a sort of reverence for them. And so he slips off and does that quiet thing where he digs a small hole and he places two small statues of humanoid shapes into it and then covers it back up. And he is your atypical Dungeons and Dragons Aragorn, right? He's just outside of the firelight because that's his thing, right? He is an actual ranger. So he's constantly watching for things. He's been in the forest before, and he knows that even though light Davokar is still okay, it's still Davokar, and the whole forest can eat you. So he's relatively on guard most of the time.
Okay. What about Randall?
Well, Randall has a routine of smoking his pipe at night, and then if people are around, Randall, he's a lore master. He's seen and done crazy things. He's old, and it's difficult to be old and to get to this point. So he's seen some shit, and he likes to tell stories. Most of them are probably skewed perspectives of the truth. Some of them are stories that run together over time and get mixed and matched, but he likes to sit around. So if he can convince anybody to sit and listen to his stories, he'll babble at you until he falls asleep or smokes his pipe.
If no one else, Thraben is keen to hear your stories.
Oh,
Royalty would absolutely be there. Listening in.
Do you often fall asleep mid-story? Just like, and then I fought him right off.
Yeah, it's probably one of those, like, pipe still in mouth, burning.
Just smoldering.
Mm-hmm.
You just see, like, Olivia come, and they, like, carefully take the pipe out and extinguish it, put a blanket over Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but, what story do I know? I'm gonna have to start making up some stories. Okay, so I heard, Jakar has a missing, arm, leg?
Arm, leg, and eye.
So Jakar's only half the man.
You could have picked one.
Jakar's only half the man he used to be. And I know how he got that way. I told him. And he kind of like starts into this story about, Jakar and I met up. He told me his plan to go into the woods. What was he doing? I have this written down. Great War. Yeah. He said he was going off to the Great War. No. He said he was going to hunt dogs. No. Hogs. No. And it goes like this forever until the story is so diluted by ridiculous confusion that Randall falls asleep.
Aw, nice.
Cutie Pie is very well aware of Randall's habits of storytelling, and it never gets old. And Cutie Pie is always behind Randall, trying to act out the story, and it's hard to follow sometimes.
Nice. What does Cutie Pie do for bed? Like, what do they have any nightly rituals?
I throw my hammer up and down and up and down for at least 420 times, and then I sleep.
All right. And what about Royalty Beetle?
Royalty Beetle loves to prepare for sleep. They first must find a flat piece of land. And if there is no flat piece of land,
We
they
make it.
flat piece of land. Idle hands do terrible things. So, make flat piece of land.
I think that's not the same.
I will piece by piece how they go to bed.
No, we've got an hour left in the show. Just we'll spend
Perfect.
an
One
hour.
at a time. It's fine.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay,
We've
so, like,
accomplished nothing.
One day we consumed 1 day of rations. We've traveled.
oh, wow.
Oh,
The cat just
careful.
jumped in my lap. Oh.
Oh, the claws are dangerous.
Okay. All the stream just saw me come very close to a home vasectomy. That hurt so much. That's the second time that
Can
this
someone
cat
please
has done
clip
it
that?
to me on stream.
Welcome to the most professional stream on Twitch.
The most professional.
Hey, Freelingen, hire me.
People ask me, hey Mike, why do people watch you on Twitch? And I go, I don't fucking know. And today proves it. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. Why are you here?
Cutie Pie will see Royalty Beetle struggling with the flattening and will easily stomp and help do the flattening of the ground.
It's part of the 400 hammer throws. Just throw it up.
Yeah, it's easy.
Perfect. Oh, little more over there.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah, of course.
Cutie Pie
Wonderful.
is a good friend.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you only have one hammer?
Yeah,
So you throw the one hammer, and then
Yeah.
you have to go and pick it up?
it's not Thor's hammer yet.
Fantastic. Day
Yet.
2. Morning rises in the Davokar. A light mist has sort of collected in the hollow where you are staying. It's spread a little more thinly elsewhere, but there is this like constant ground fog right around the ankles. you head off for the day. And go ahead and roll your second ration die.
Go for it, Beetle.
5 total.
Okay, that is good. Still does not depreciate the stores. You have prepared well. I think
I am a good baker.
you are a good baker, and some of the food is just so hearty. Really sits in the stomach. Like
The heartiest.
Illy's passing.
And go ahead and roll the final day's travel.
Okay. Should I roll with the 12?
Sure.
Up to you.
I don't know. Do we lose it? Like, I don't know.
No, so what happens is if you roll a 2 or a 1, the 12 becomes a 10.
So the die get increasingly smaller until they're gone.
Oh god, that went far. That is a 5 total again.
Okay, so
That's a 6 minus 1.
your journey to Rhodes home is largely uneventful. There are some nights where you hear the distant howling of Jakar dogs. There are some nights where it's eerily quiet and you're like, where's the wind? Or insects or birds or anything. This is unnerving. But nothing happens to you. And that's probably for the best. Eventually you make it.
It was like, I don't know what all the hubbub is about.
Eventually you make it to Rhodes home. If you look on Roll20, I have a map for you. Rhodes home sits at a curve in the river Aenor. This is one of 2 major rivers that split east-west in Davokar. And Rhodes home is just on the northern side. It's one of the few places that has a proper crossing. Often you'll need to find a ford or an old-ass bridge, but this is built right next to a stone bridge that crosses a relatively tame part of the Aenor River. So if you're looking at the map, you'd be coming up from this road. It's not letting me ping. Come on, there we
From
go.
the Thistlehold Road, one that says towards Thistlehold?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
see where you pinged. Okay.
Ahead of you, there is a light bare palisade. It's not like a really good one, like you can see through the slats. It mostly seems there to prevent things crossing in. It's not meant to be a real deterrent to a raiding party, perhaps. It's just to keep out bears and larger animals.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Colin. This is a sizable enough town, right? They're not just subsisting on their own, farm goods. They're able to trade, so there should be enough people here to
There are about 200 people here, so it's still small. This is still small fry compared to Thistlehold or many other places, but it is self-sufficient and it has enough where they do trade the local Odavs. Usually they're trading we make things, you give us a bunch of meat.
Now, one would expect some kind of, not a fanfare, but a welcome, or seeing people, or hearing town noises.
Yeah, the road is empty, and Thraben says, he goes, we usually have a lookout stationed, and he points at the bridge. He goes, there, usually one of the young men who doesn't have a proper job yet.
Thraben, I don't want to be insensitive here, but 6 days ago is when you left, and a man ate his wife and half of his own body. And it's been 6 days.
You watch Thraben's Adam's apple bob a couple times as he swallows nervously.
Yeah, and Fionn unhinges his bow. He's heard tale of undead, but he's not from he's not from old El Barator. So he's never fought one, but he definitely unslings a bow. Because if you're eating yourself and other people. I don't care if you're dead or not. You're getting some arrows.
Randall feels that energy coming off of you, and he kind of, his bow also being his cane, he kind of places it in front of your body, and he's like, we shouldn't walk in there, just in case. Stay wary.
I agree. And he like slowly unnotches an arrow and has it at the ready. I'll lead as he looks around to Beetle, who has a Santa Claus bag of bread, Randall, who is a million, and the stealthiest ogre in the world. He slowly starts
He
to walk
he
forward.
bops you and he goes, why would we follow you? Go scout.
That,
Get. And he pats you on the hiney with his cane.
Thraben goes, I can go in first.
No.
Yes.
No.
Send the NPC in first.
Stay. He goes, no, you stay here. You're the only emissary we have for this town. Just
yeah,
stay.
and you're edible and can't fight back.
You're edible too.
Yeah, but I can fight back. And he slowly starts to walk in, like you see him like lower down towards where like the mist is, and he like you see him notch the arrow, and he's walking with the arrow kind of notched as he's slowly walking up this road.
If you're going alone, you're the only one who needs to roll. Go ahead and roll discreet for me.
Cool. I'm super excited about this. Success.
Okay. You sweep up over the bridge, not seeing a soul. You pass several houses that are very clearly shuttered and like closed up. But you eventually get to the center of town there where it says the Pathfinder's Green. This is a well-manicured expanse of beautiful green grass, though you do notice in the northwest corner there is a pretty vivid thatch of this purple grass. It is so purple. This is not the purple of the grass you were shown. This is like a bright purple. In the center of the green, there is a not statue, a totem, I guess. You'd recognize it. This is the symbol of the Pathfinder, one of the pantheon of gods that predated Prios. Prios was originally part of the pantheon, and in Alberator there was the Exulsion where they said, no, we don't need the rest of the pantheon, we just need Prios. The Pathfinder is one of that old pantheon. They are a god of wanderers, travelers, safe travels, safe homes, like getting home safe. You pray to the Pathfinder. Their symbol is very simple. It is just a triangle made out of bundles of sticks. So you can make yourself a totem to the Pathfinder anywhere you can find twigs. And they clearly took these giant logs and lashed them together, and it looks nice. Or probably did. It's actually now on its side, like someone is taking it down. From where you are, pressed up against the corner of a building, you can also see this large building that looks like a meeting hall. There are people there. There are people in front of it talking to one another in the pointed tones, you can't hear what they're saying, of people who have something to say. This is not casual conversation. As you're watching, two men exit the meeting hall with axes. They go over to the Pathfinder symbol, and they start to chop.
This doesn't look like the scene of it looks ghost towny, right? But there's not like flayed bits everywhere.
No.
Okay. Yeah, he's not going to approach these people. He's not a talky boy. He heads back down, and he's going to head towards Randall. And there's people in town, and they're not eating anyone, which I'm real excited about.
That's good.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought.
That's good.
They have a statue to one of the old Ambrian gods.
One, I'm old.
And the Pathfinder, and they're tearing it down and chopping it down.
Would I have lore on this as to why they might chop it down, or Any kind of relevant?
Probably because they're done with them.
I would.
The old pantheon was like a traditional pantheon. You'd pray to whichever god you needed at the time.
Right. Okay.
This community seemed like it sprang up around the Pathfinder in the same way that Ambria sprang up around Prios. So them chopping it down is probably telling about their relationship to the Pathfinder. Either they are done with the Pathfinder, or perhaps they think the Pathfinder's done with them.
Interesting. Okay.
So, Fiat, do you think they are lost or they are found?
I mean, honestly, I think ultimately everyone's lost. No offense, Stephen. We don't know how to cure them, so.
Braven is standing there, has looked horrified since you mentioned the totem being taken down.
Why does this spook you?
I was raised to worship the Pathfinder.
Who would want to do that?
Well,
I don't know.
It makes sense if the people were led here in their belief that they were following the Pathfinder, and now they're dying and eating themselves, that they would feel like, the Pathfinder led them astray.
I need to go into town.
Okay,
He said he clearly is starting to panic.
Calm down. Oh, there he goes. And I start after him as soon as he starts going into town.
Oh, this is gonna take forever. And Fionn starts to follow quicker.
Wait.
Just catch up. It's fine. Cutie Pie, can you just pick him
Cutie
up?
Pie always always ready to just hop on back.
I don't.
It's fine. It's better than the baby carry that I
probably get up there like Yoda, and I use my cane around the beef of your body to hold myself on as I hang.
Can we from now on talk about the beef of Jess's body? Just put that in every...
you have to develop that sort of beef when you throw a hammer 421 times a day.
It's true.
That's beefy.
Just Jess, not even Cutie Pie.
Just Jess.
She's an amazing
Jess does
beefy
this
role
every
player.
day. Fact.
She's an amazingly beefy role player. It's great.
I hang from it.
hang from my beef.
So
that was supposed to be a legitimate description. I did not know beef would throw us so far, of course.
It happens.
I'm a vegetarian.
You all follow Thraben as he does that awkward walk run where it's I want to run, but I know that would look weirder than what I'm doing now, so I just have to live in this hell of speed walking. As Thraben does that, across the Pathfinder's green, right towards the men who are by now finished chopping through and are starting to stack the logs. And one of them drops the axe and intercepts Thraben as he starts to shout at them, what are you doing? What are you doing? You don't understand, son, stop it. And they wrap him up. And Thraben just kind of breaks down. The other man with the axe looks at you all and goes, "How are you?"
We're here to help.
We're here to stop the hunger.
I'm Royalty Beetle.
He it's a very sobering thing. Goes, "There's no one that can help us.
That's based
You shouldn't
on
be here.
Your hearsay?
You shouldn't be here. I think you should go. That's what I think."
We get paid to be here, so...
It's true. We're actually not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, we
Can
also,
always help.
we also don't think we want to be here.
Thraben disentangles himself and says, "I hired them. I think they can help." He goes, "They can't help us. No one can
you
help
don't
us."
tell me what I can do.
What I can do.
You
I
haven't
can
even
help
said
you.
us try.
At this, a crowd has come out of the meeting hall and are kind of watching from a distance. Several of them have implements, farming implements, that are a little out of place in a meeting hall or in town. And Thraben pushes past them and says, "Please come meet the elder Varmina. He might know what to do." And he grabs, I think he'd grab Royalty Beetle's hand. I think Royalty Beetle is the closest, and like leads Royalty Beetle over to stand in front of the crowd. Where's Elder Vermina? And the crowd parts, and there a guy dressed in nice robes who's as old as Randall comes forward. Thraben boy, you should not have brought strangers here.
Not strangers, employees.
Employees.
It's true.
Help.
I think I know what young Thraben has done. He's overreacted.
I mean,
That is-
you're the ones chopping your statue down.
Look,
So
true or not true? One of your own has been sick. True or not true?
with
Sick.
the munchies.
Thraben has been speaking unwisely. One of our own fell into a fit of madness. I assume that's what you're here about.
The same madness that's got this boy eating all the time.
When I was his age, I ate all the time too.
No wonder you got that gut.
Why are you lying to us? We're here to help.
Well, unless you can speak directly to the Earth Mother, I don't think there's much that you can do for us.
What do I know about the Earth Mother?
Yeah, can I just yell, Earth Mother?
If you do
going
not have
on?
Lore Master, you can roll.
Okay, I do.
Right, you do, which means you don't have to roll. You just know.
Oh, great. Perfect. The Earth
uh,
Mother, you say?
Earth Mother is another figure from the old pantheon. The Earth Mother governing family, hearth, fertility, crops. These are things within the Earth Mother's remit. A more conservative version of a fertility goddess than you might think. Oftentimes, fertility goddesses are like the be joyful and like celebrate life. Earth Mother is like, no, procreate, grow, learn, do, industry, good, celebrating, unnecessary.
Got it. Okay.
Very much like goblins.
Okay. Randall says, what if this wasn't the Earth Mother? What if it was
Raven
something
has
else?
brought an atheist to our community.
No. I'm asking, what if there is something else affecting the forest?
I would love to hear what that is. And he turns and gestures to everyone, please go back to your homes, go back to your fields. There's work to be done. Yes. Come with me. And he leads you into the meeting hall as people disperse into the town. It's a large open place. It's basically a giant table that stretches like 80 feet with a bunch of chairs, none of them matching. There's a single lectern at the very front of it. The cat's about to knock a bunch of shit off of my table, and I just got to let it happen.
You must learn not to put things on the table when you have cats now.
There are so many things I have, though. They need to go somewhere.
Shelves.
Nobody else is nobody else in this space.
It's fine. I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, I was saying, is there nobody else in the space other than us walking in? It's empty.
None that are staying. A lot of people are filtering out. Most of them are giving looks that aren't. There it is. That aren't angry or like they're distrustful, but in a scared way, not a "we're gonna kill you" way.
Right. And
Yeah,
it's very evident
scary.
that the people are scared.
Yes, absolutely.
It's very clear.
Anyone can make a vigilant roll.
I am vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ha 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 ha. Successes.
Did everyone succeed?
Cutie
Yeah.
pie.
Yeah. You notice a lot of people that have clearly put on some weight, judging from how their clothes fit. Like 3 months ago, they probably weighed less.
Yeah.
So
Cutie pie doesn't notice this.
Yeah, Thraben's worry may have more foundation than Vermina is letting on.
Yeah, I think Fionn kind of leans over and like grabs Randall's shoulder.
Ugh.
The village holds close to 200. Held.
I grab him and pull him a little closer. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't you go check on that farmland that's supposed to be being worked?
Okay.
Get a head count. I want to know how many aren't here.
I think that what we saw was everyone.
I like let him go and I'm like trying to tally back. How many people did we lay eyes on?
A lot of people. Go ahead and roll cunning. It's actually kind of hard to like
think about that.
Yeah, as you're
But
talking.
guess who's super cunning?
Yeah.
Oh.
You'd say it was about 100, 120 people or so.
Okay. I poke him a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know. There's still a lot around. Can't make any calls yet. I look over at Royalty and I'm like, tie that bag up tight.
Yeah. Thraben grabs Cutie Pie's arm and says, I'm going to find my family.
Does?
Just so you know, I'm on the west part of town. We have a blue roof. It's impossible to miss if you need to find me. But I need to see my family and make sure that they're okay.
Are you telling me so I escort you to?
I think.
No, I just need to tell someone, and because everyone else is kind of up ahead counting people or making note of new notches and belts.
You say what color is roof?
Blue.
I'll tell Royalty Beetle I am colorblind.
Okay.
It's so sad.
Thraben
but
heads
also
off.
believable.
I know.
Vermina pulls out one of the larger chairs, slowly sinks into it. These old bones of mine. So, please, you've come here to tell us that our faith has led us astray, that it is wrong, that the Earth Mother is not communicating to us, that something else is happening. Please, I will permit you the courtesy of explaining yourself.
Wait, a lot of accusations there.
No accusations. The Earth Mother sent a sign.
Oh.
You've seen it. Purple grass. And this has told us that we were led astray, that the Pathfinder did not watch over this community. The Earth Mother does. But you come here with young Thraben, with ideas of some terrible thing that's happening here. You say you're going to help us. Help us with what? What do you think is happening?
I think you're eating people.
I know a solid weight loss program.
One man was stricken with madness. Madness which drove him to depravity, the worst that a person could do.
You know what? Regardless of why or how, wouldn't you like to wake up tomorrow and that purple grass be gone? Your plants back?
Why?
People well?
Why would we want the Earth Mother's gift gone?
And what makes you think it's a gift?
We were worried. We were worried we would lose our winter stores. We were all very hungry, you see. We ate all of our livestock for the last 3 months. Some, like young Thraben, blamed the purple grass. And when Thraben was gone, someone made bread out of it, and it makes a fine and durable ration. The Earth Mother made it very clear to us.
Well, then I don't think we have any more business here. Do we, everyone?
Nope, just gonna continue heading north into the forest for our other job.
We appreciate your hospitality, and we'll assure you that we'll come back and check on you.
Right.
Royalty, no bread.
And
I'm
I
glad.
lean over to Cutie Pie and I just whisper, "Don't eat anything."
Let me say that I understand. Perhaps I've been uncharitable towards you. I'm old. I'm like that. I know.
I am
something.
old, and I'm not like that. And look at Randall.
He's old and like that.
Okay,
This
baby.
forest has tremendous appeal to people with certain sense of avarice, opportunity. I myself couldn't help but explore some ruins I found in my youth. Reading about ancient ruins and the mysteries of Davokar, the strange creatures. But life here is much more normal than those tales would have you believe.
I'm sorry. Did you find anything?
Yes, a token here or there, perhaps, in my youth, that I then misspent.
But nothing here in the town.
No.
Does that sound deceitful as...
Yeah,
Does that sound as
like,
deceitful as
can
you
we
made
roll
it sound?
an insight check?
The highest of you, whoever has the highest vigilant can roll.
It's
Oh
me.
God, not me.
It's me.
And it is going to be, let me just check.
It's
It's
me. I have
You don't think Cutie Pie has vigilance?
Do you have
Does
15?
Cutie Pie have
Cutie Pie
vigilance?
is big vigilance.
I was going to say, I
I'd
have
put 13.
cunning.
I am strong.
Okay. Vigilant. No, I'm
Or
looking
10.
at
I don't know
Where
what
am
to put numbers in.
What is this? Come on. Come on.
I am not discreet, but I am fairly vigilant.
It's not going to be more than -3. I think it might be -2.
-2? All right.
Yeah. There we go. Discreet. Yeah, -2.
Cool. Super success.
Oh, he's withholding something.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Fionn just he's trained by Randall in his old age, but he shoots Randall a look that like Randall will know like that's not the truth at all.
What was this guy's name again?
Vermina.
Deckard Cain.
Deckard King.
Oh, Grandpa, you and your crazy stories.
I'm Deckard Cain.
I'm sorry. I just love that game for the cutscene where the daughter or granddaughter is just like, my grandfather and his crazy stories, and it's like you're literally talking to an angel that you watched fall from heaven.
Yep.
And I just don't know how you
Your grandpa's
live with that dissonance.
Crazy.
Stay a while
He's
and have some dinner.
crazy.
So now knowing that he is lying for sure about what we don't know.
Correct.
Can I pick him up?
No, don't touch him.
And just shake him.
Just don't touch him.
The treasures.
He can hear you.
We are here in Genuine, and if
I'm way up here. No
You
one
are-
can hear me.
you're right, if you are certain that you and your people are better off consuming this purple grass, a gift, and we will leave you be.
I would like that. I would like that very much.
may we take a moment to rest our feet in town before we continue north?
Of course. You may stay in town as long as you'd like. You may inquire with one of the families about putting you up for the night. I'm sure you may even be able to get a bed.
I think we're gonna continue.
That is your choice.
Thank you for your time and insightful lesson.
He like pushes slowly to his feet, pauses and extends a hand to you. Of course. Blessings of the earth, Mother, be visited on you always.
And also with you.
And with your spirit.
And with your spirit is what Randall says. The Methodist girl and me knew the answer to that.
She's from the South, after all.
I was blown away when I learned that was the new thing in Roman Catholicism, with your spirit. I grew up on, and also
with you. Yeah.
I don't.
All gone.
I'm not changing.
Me neither. Clearly, I didn't even know it was a thing. So, yeah, and Randall kind of gives everybody the look. It's like, get them out of here.
If we're leaving the building, Cutie Pie's gonna bend over and try to talk to Randall and be like, "Should I pee on the purple grass?"
Not in town. You know, I don't know that anybody has attempted to urinate upon the foliage, but
What?
I will give you an opportunity when we get out of town.
Should I pluck the purple grass?
No, do not touch it. Do not eat it.
Okay.
We only eat the rations. As I come out the door, the first thing I say to them is only eat the rations. Don't eat any creatures in this area. We do not consume the grass or any of the foliage.
But we're breathing in the spores of the land here.
It's very astute of you, Cutie Pie. Cover your nose. Breathe through your mouth only.
Oh no.
I reach up with my cane and I smack your hand down away from your face. And I'm like, we need to focus. What do I know about this guy who runs this place? Like, this is a new town, right?
Mm-hmm. This is a new town in the sense that it much like the Kingdom of Ambria, it's like 20 years old.
Yeah. It popped up, and they have to have. I mean, they're a somewhat neighboring town. I guess they have to have some kind of system of voting people in or judicial process.
Yes, there is a process. Essentially, after a certain age, anyone is eligible to be elected elder.
Okay.
And they essentially run these town hall meetings type things. You get the sense that it's a community that runs on an unspoken common sense.
Okay, it's the kind of Western mentality of we deal with our own problems as see fit by the group of at large.
If someone does something, you don't drag them to court. Just some of the people in town maybe get together, get some billy clubs, and correct the wrongdoer at the night some point. And no one talks about it.
Right. Okay, I think Randall knows the best thing for us to do is to hit the house with the blue roof on the way out of town and check on him and tell him that we're leaving. Because I
think Royalty Bee would also want to know if Thraven knows where the ruins are.
That's true, too. So, see, we could go to the house and I guess ask.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Raven would be there. And his parents, if his family's still there, they may be insightful in telling us what's really going on in town, which is trying to be. Yeah,
if
that's
they're even still there.
Also true.
Tie up that end.
We're going to hope for the best.
Do I know of any ruins in the area? I have senses.
Go ahead and roll cunning, and I'll give you +2 because
4 of them, in fact. Only 4, though.
Cunning +2? Okay, cool.
Cunning +2.
5, success.
Nice. The nearest ruin is and I don't want to get this super wrong, so I'm just gonna look at the map real quick.
Classic. Look at the map music.
About a day or two away.
Okay. Further in, I assume.
Further in, it's between the Malgamar River and the Aenor.
Okay.
Which is technically where you are right now.
Okay. Any specific rumors about this place? Like, I assume a treasure hunter has gone here before. That's how I know about it.
So this one is called the Shale Steps, because it was apparently some watchtower that was built on shale, and shale, when it breaks in like tiers.
Yeah.
So like the ruin is like split level.
Okay, that makes sense.
It is
should
well
have used
known
stale
and
bread
well
bricks.
picked. This is, it as it's like technically it's a ruin, but most people just go there for a campsite because like everyone's been through there before.
Yeah.
It's where I used to go snogging.
Gross.
Randall still got game.
You want to end the stream early, or? Fionn, hearing that we're leaving, Fionn kind of leans over again and says, the closest ruin is like a day to the north, I think. The Shale Steps, but there's no treasure to be had there. And if what that guy says is right, and he was treasure hunting in his younger days, then the grass probably would have shown up way sooner. It has to be someone else doing something.
I don't trust anything he says.
Well, I mean, I agree. I think that there's probably something in this town that is causing this. Somebody brought something back from the forest they shouldn't have, and they're currently hiding it. I think he knows what it is.
The corruptions.
All of
You
them.
think he is aware and wants this to happen?
I don't think he's aware and wants it to happen. I think that he knows that somebody brought something back, and he's hiding that fact. But I don't think that he thinks it's the same thing.
Who wants to brave a night in the forest?
I mean, we've already braved 3, so...
You know what? Let me have this.
Okay.
Who wants to brave?
I'm in.
He goes, good lad. I tap you on the back.
He motions for Cutie Pie and Royalty to like, I'm in.
Yeah. Yes, I am the inn. That is what I am.
Good.
So you were heading to Thraben's family's house?
Thraben's family's house, and then maybe a night in the woods.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you head through Pathfinder's Green, up north to the road, and then you have to cut south past some fields. So you were actually, you have 2 choices. I'll ask you. Do you want to take the red path
Oh, the blue?
or the blue path? Because that's where you're
Will I
headed.
wake up back at home if I take the blue one?
You walked into that one.
I
Okay.
did.
I did.
And I
It's okay.
resent
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. That's his house.
Mhm.
There. Okay.
Yes.
It's a spoopy. You look like a little stingray. Can I take
I'd
both
like to-
paths and then eventually end up?
I mean, we wouldn't really know. I would like to go. It'd be nice to see the farms. That was something that Randall wanted to put his eyes on. I wanted to see how things were growing and if it was affecting anything other than the grass, and just take a peek at the other people of this town.
Yeah. I mean, also they said that they ate all of their livestock. So
Yeah.
how do they even have food stores of any type at this point?
Well, that's what they were saying.
They're
They're
eating the-
using the grass.
To make
yeah.
So originally it was the livestock ate the grass. They ate all the livestock.
Mm-hmm.
Now all they have left is the grass, and it's growing, and they're using it to create bread and stuff. And he said it's satiating his hunger more. Was that the vibe that I got, Colin?
You got no sense of how hungry he was. If
Okay.
he was very hungry, he was hiding it.
Right. But he
Okay.
said it was like
very
Filling.
hearty.
bread,
It was
yeah.
very
Hearty
filling.
bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's
I
far
have my
less
doubts.
people. There's far less people in the town than there should be.
I mean, you said it's a town of 200. There were 120 people.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
like
is more
80
people. That's more people in town than
Still
normally
doesn't
you'd
matter.
have. Like the town usually holds about half the populace, and then the other half is spread out amongst the outlying farms. So this had the feeling like maybe there was a meeting.
And people came in.
Mhm.
And
So-
we
Was
missed
it
it.
pitch?
You should talk to the
mentioned
people.
weird tools. Were the pitchforks and
They were
torches?
farming implements, so there were pitchforks, sickles, scythes,
Are they farming?
a lot of axes. Axes are super useful.
Yeah, let's go the long way around.
I mean,
We'll take the red pill, please.
Cutie Pie does have a point. Why do you need sickles and axes and
in town?
in a meeting? I understand that they're farmers, but it's a decent walk from your farm, and to carry farming tools to a town hall meeting.
Who'd they murder?
Yeah.
Farmers, the butchers now?
Okay, before.
Oh no!
Everybody,
Oh honey, no!
we have not calmed down.
Where are the pigs? Can always find answers with the pigs.
They have no pigs. They ate all of their livestock.
I like bang my hand on the ground. I'm like, listen, we're going to run into hysterics here. There's only been one person that we can actually prove has consumed human flesh or did I get it right? Embryon flesh? Yes. So, sorry, I had to double check. I almost said ambient, and that would have been way different.
It'd be way
It
chill.
would be a way different situation.
We may eat this bread.
I'll take a slice of purple ambient. That's fine.
So, and he says, I think we need to know more. We can't prove anybody's missing. We should talk to some of the local people. I bet you Thraben's family will tell us what we need to know.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Thraben told me where he lives, and it's a big blue house. And he was very concerned with meeting family. So hopefully, family is still there in the building.
So you were taking the red path. So you're going north.
Yep, and
around the town, right? The thing I drew on the map are the large swaths of farmland that are purple, that have this purple grass. And out here in the farms where it's been tended to, it is up like 6 feet. It is like,
whoa.
this is tall grass.
Okay.
The other thing you note is how much of it there is around the unfortunate autophage's farmhouse.
How tall is tall?
About 6 feet.
Oh, nice, not tall.
Yeah, it is. And for grass, are they harvesting it like wheat?
It does look like as you go, you're passing north, and it seems like they're organizing gangs of workers. They're organizing gangs of workers to harvest, and they've cut down a lot of wheat. It looks like, and you can see some of the bundles have this grass in with it.
Huh. Okay.
Colin, do we know where the autophage's house is, or?
Yes.
Okay.
It's something that Thraben would have mentioned on the trip.
Okay.
Because it was his neighbor.
Okay.
Right. That's the next farm over.
Right. Okay. Well, we probably wouldn't be able to see much of the house from the growth of the grass, correct?
Unless it was 2 stories.
You'd be able to see the path to it.
Okay.
And it does look like some of it has been cleared away. It's unevenly cut.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I want to go. Like, as soon as we get around that corner and, like, Theon makes the connection that that's the house that, like, he does the, triangulation of that's the house that this guy was, he kind of looks around to everybody and then back to Randall and says, that's the house.
The house for what?
That's where the guy ate his wife and his legs.
Oh.
But the farm seems tended to, correct?
Well, they're harvesting the plants.
In harvest season, that's like the thing you can do. It's just you can harvest. So it looks like people are harvesting whatever crops were on his land a little bit. It looks like some of this maybe have been cut down earlier. Some of it has been allowed to grow.
But these are, this is the couple that were
correct
consumables. So, okay. Okay.
Yon. Maybe we should get eyes on there.
There's a lot of eyes on that place, and we haven't been welcomed in. You think they're gonna let us waltz in the front door of a dead man's house?
Are there people
We need
around?
a place to stay. Nobody's there.
Colin, are there people around?
Not that you see.
Okay.
Oh, it
I
just
mean,
looks like.
they're distant people.
Oh,
over
they're
in
not
other
close.
fields.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you want, I can slip in.
No, I want to see it. Skedaddle. Let's go.
I can roll and hunch over to be shorter than the grass.
So you're going to the farmhouse?
I think we're gonna sneak up to the farmhouse.
Are you going on the path or are you going through the grass?
Cutie Pie is going to cat roll on the path.
Yeah, we're gonna stay. I'm staying on the
As
branch.
far away from the grass as possible.
Okay.
Kind of wants to roll in the grass, but after Randall's just like, don't touch anything. And I'm like,
Question. Does it look... Plants, you can always tell ones that hold a lot of water or very...
dry.
Yeah, or is this like a dry grass, like a wheat? The way wheat, once it like grows, it's really dry. Basically,
dry
how
stuff.
flammable would it be? Oh,
It might be pretty flammable.
okay.
This isn't a super dry cat ice. Oh my god.
Not stack anything. Not the
Welcome to the life of being a cat parent.
Yeah. Come.
You put food in and chaos comes
Yeah,
out.
yes,
Um,
correct. Correct.
Ooh, yeah.
To answer your question, likely kind of flammable. Not as flammable as like a dry ass wheat field, but you could probably set a good blaze if you want.
Great. I just wanted to. Randall's just making notes as he walks through.
Just in case. It's like a.
As he's smoking his pipe,
Yes, we are. He's
thinking
like-
about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're approaching this farmhouse. The farmhouse looks deserted, empty. It is a 3-room affair. 2 rooms on the ground floor, 1 upstairs. There is a front door and a back door. A couple windows. What do you do? How are you? Are you just going right into the front door?
If there's a back door, that's what my preference would be. Away from where eyes would be able to see us, I guess.
Fair.
Does it look like anyone's been in the house, right? Like, so it's been at least 6 days, right? So it should be like a little bit of dust on the front porch or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Any windows shattered, that kind of thing. Like, does it look like it's people have been in here?
From the outside, no.
Okay.
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 Go to the back door.
Go to the back.
Yeah. Fionn
You
heads around
open-
the back door.
The back
I
door.
follow.
As you're coming around the back door, you do note that there is a large patch of dirt that has been, about 6 days ago, moved. Just disturbed.
Is it about rectangular in person size?
Yeah. There are stones at the head of
Okay.
each of these patches. When you open the back door, you see it leads into the kitchen area of this 2. You've got the front of the room, the house, which has like sort of living room area, and then the back is a kitchen and dining area. And you step in, and there is so much dried blood. There is dried blood everywhere, and most macabre is the cutlery that is on the like island in the center of this room. So it looks like what you imagine would look like if someone would like butchered an animal there. But also right next to it is like a plate with like knife and fork, like he sat down to eat.
Yeah, I think like if Fionn's the first one in, he takes a step in and then takes a step backwards and just sort of turns around and says, this wasn't a ravenous hunger that he just started chewing on his wife. She was prepared.
And I use my cane to push past you and let the door like eek open to show it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
This was well thought out. He and he like looks at the blood. I think he ate her for a while.
I mean, this is not CSI or anything, but can I do some kind of investigation?
Do you have Medicus?
Let me see. What do I have? What does Randall have?
So if you do not have Medicus, I will let you roll at a -3.
Okay. Let's see what I do have.
Doesn't Royalty Beetle have Medicus?
No, he has alchemy.
Oh.
No, I have alchemy. I was going to, but Olivia has Medicus.
True.
That's why I didn't take it.
Yeah. I mean, neither. So, okay. Yeah. No.
Does
Okay.
beast lore help here at all?
It depends. So, what question are you trying to answer?
I think Randall wants to come in and kind of takes all this in. I'm looking for. Randall wants to look past the gore,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and wants to have that. I don't know, a Sherlock moment of like, are there additional things here that would be overlooked, or, like. Oh, geez, I don't know. What was the last thing they ate? Is there any other food in the kitchen? Did he prepare her, or did he prepare himself? Did he chop his own arm off, or did he kill her in like a blood murder? I want perspective.
A lot of questions there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll. It's going to be at -3 because you don't have Medicus.
What am I rolling? Is it like a
Cunning? Sorry.
cunning? Oh, it is. Okay, so
Cunning
I can do that. Okay, 3 is the disadvantage. Is it -3?
Yes.
-3. Don't know. Okay, we're gonna find out if this works. Failure, man, so close. Failed.
So, it is impossible to tell a lot of the questions that you asked.
Okay.
Like, you can't tell if he killed her and then prepared her. You can't tell really if he tried to prepare himself. I will say a search of this kitchen will yield the information. There is 0 other food in here. You don't know if that was the case before he killed Nader, or if subsequently someone came and took the food.
It's gonna be the next question.
I think that about covers what your character was looking for.
All the kind of
There is such a bloody mess, and it's not bloody anymore. It's like very dry and tacky.
Smells.
Yeah, there are a lot of flies, but there's not a lot you can glean from the mess, unfortunately.
Fionn again looks to Randall. Do you want me to go in further?
I don't know. I kind of look around and I was like, I don't know that there's much else here. Thing is Thraben's story adds up.
He did leave out the part that he prepared the meat.
Well, do you think he was here watching?
No. I hope not.
Okay. Well, has anybody else been here? Can we look around and see, does it look like other people have been in here?
That would be Vigilant, and Mike, I will let you... everyone else has to roll, but you have Beast Lore.
I think
Some people
Randall
have
has Beast
definitely
Lore
been...
too.
Yeah. People have definitely come in here.
Okay.
They've come through. They've taken what they wanted. I don't know why they left the bloody mess, but they don't seem concerned by it.
Well, there's not many new people coming into town.
Yeah, but
And
if you wanna...
No one needs the house. And he kind of nods to the fresh grave outside.
They came in here, took the bodies, buried them out back, and took everything they wanted out of the house, but didn't clean up the mess. They don't do a very good job of hiding it.
Well, why would they need to? They're the law. Who's going to stop them from taking...
Just saying, it looks a bit sloppy to me.
Because of
So.
the blood. But
What,
Fionn does, he like pulls up his cowl and he like kind of trudges forward into the house more. So like I assume that there's like drawn shades and whatever, but I do have low light vision. But he's gonna try to give the house a once over and see like, was the house turned, right? It was did they just like grab the body and bury it, like, you know, and then just leave the shitty house, or did people like ransack this place?
Okay. Go ahead and roll Vigilant for that. It's going to be -2.
-2.
do you want to? We'll go room by room, and anyone else? Do you want to contribute to it?
Fail by 1, or no, that's not true. By 3.
What are the rest of you doing as Fionn is searching?
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go back outside. Randall's gonna wait. He's not going up and down those stairs.
That's fair.
Royalty Beetle and Cutie?
This house is not built for a cutie pie, so don't want to be in here.
Okay.
Could I justify check if I like you're saying that this was prepared? Can I look at like the kitchen, the utensils, and maybe see if anything was more ritualistic or?
Yes, no check necessary. This is well within your baker, which is adjacent to a chef.
Obviously.
You know okay, that's the skinning knife, that's the chopping implement you use to hack into the leg to get the leg off the pig, and this was butchered, not in the colloquial sense of messily chopped up, but in the sense of someone who knew how to dress an animal did that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Animal happened to be human.
That good old long pig. That is not a very good use of these instruments. And I think we'll probably follow Fionn. Gesundheit.
Tried to mute myself in time, did not. It's just a messy stream tonight. So
sorry, it's the blood dust. Just I'm allergic to it.
You head upstairs.
Yeah.
The living room, there's really nothing of note. It looks like someone was here. You can't tell if they were searching for something or if this family, this husband and wife just lived kind of messily. Hard to tell. You go upstairs. Upstairs, there is a single bedroom with a pretty large writing desk. On it are some papers. They look like they've been moved around. There is a big book that looks like a diary of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And casually flipping through that, there are pages that have been ripped out.
I'm taking that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Other than that, it just looks like a relatively messy lived-in house.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I definitely take this book and I bring it back to Randall, who's our book guy. And I kind of hand it. This looks like a journal, and he kind of flips it open to the pages that are torn out. Somebody didn't want us to find something.
It's true. It looks like possibly the man who owned this house, the farmer's journal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a fireplace?
Of course.
In seeing the torn pages, he specifically goes to check. Fionn checks the fireplace to see if this
Funny
was
enough, there's some very fine ash, the kind of ash that isn't chunky from wood, but fine from paper.
Yeah, he calls out to Randall. They burned it.
Of course they did. Like I said, it's like they want the story to be true, but just true enough. Hiding all the gory details. No. Okay.
Tough crowd.
No, Randall.
What I'm trying to say is
I'm standing in people.
I'm actually probably on the stairs leading up into the house, but Randall, this was the farmer's. That means the farmer knew something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least he knew something that didn't want anyone else to know.
like flip through pages to the last entry,
Mm-hmm.
and then where are the pages ripped out? How far back?
Unfortunately, not all of them are dated. Some of them
Okay.
look like they're just like notes to self kind of things.
But they're
some of
probably in
them-
some kind of chronological order.
Yes. So, it's what I'm saying is there isn't an exact date,
Okay.
but this is about 3 months or so.
Which lines up with what Theban told us about when the plants started showing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
When
The last and you scan that last page, and the writer, that is apparently the husband, is detailing some recent fights that he's had with his wife, and reaffirming how much he loves her, but that their financial situation is not good, and he isn't sure how to reverse that. And the final entry is one of these sort of notes to self, the kind of thing you'd like roll over in bed to like jot down before you forget.
Yep.
It. And it just says, "I dreamt of teeth and nothing else."
Jeez.
Meanwhile,
No.
the camera pans out the window of this house, past all of you, down low to the ground, the green of the lawn of this farmhouse drawing back, and then it hits the where the tall grass is, this purple grass, and it finds a shadow drawn out across this grass of a creature at least 9 feet tall. And the camera pans up just over the crown of what might be its head. The skin is pallid and bulging slightly with movement. There are 2 sets of giant stag or moose horns, but you know how those horns will shed velvet, right? Just like hanging.
Mhm.
Looks like that. And that's where we'll end the session.
Thanks, I hate it.
Wow.
Gross. Well, you know, it started off with shenanigans and ended with people bits and scary
I
monsters.
never worry about shenanigans. I will always pull it around.
We can't take it. Wait, is that a challenge?
Yep.
Yucky bits.
Bring it.
All right. Well, this has been Symbaroum. This has been what we're calling Symbaroum.
Has it?
I mean, the ending was 100% Symbaroum.
Oh, super, yeah.
From 9 to 10, Symbaroum. From 8 to 9, this cast.
Sounds about right.
That being said, we're going to go around to our introductions, get the hell out of here. But first, thank you guys so much for all the follows today. Thank you so much for the donations. Lower Bones, slide in here early, dropping some donations. We got some follows, some likes, all that kind of fun stuff. If you guys want to support the channel, go check us out on Patreon. If you want to join the conversation and see little bits of nuggets of lore that Colin keeps posting, check it out on our Discord. We have a channel just for this game. You can talk about the amazing prosthetic nose that that Gnome is wearing.
Very expensive. You would almost say priceless.
And you can see all the amazing clips of us losing our shit. Let's go around. We'll start with the 2 newer players today. We'll start with Gnome. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Hello, my name is
Your mic cut out.
Tonight.
There we go.
Yeah, so my name's Gnome. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, and I do a whole buttload of things. I'm here every Thursday. Yes, buttload is pretty massive. Just
Big
clarifying.
butts.
Big
I've seen it.
booty. Mm-hmm.
Boop, boop.
Sundays I'm over on the Cobalt Press channel doing Cobalt Press things, and Wednesdays I'm over on the Gods Fall channel, which is also a podcast called Rise of the Demigods, which is an all LGBTQIA plus podcast set in the amazing creative world of Calgun, which is the same setting as Gods Fall. So definitely check those things out.
Sweet. Our other newer player today, wow, my brain just completely shut off. Jess, how are you? Jess, who are you? What are you doing here? And where can we find you on the internet?
Yes, who am I? Too existential to answer tonight. Yep. You can find me at Burst of Hope on Twitter with the 0 for the O in of until I wage my war against this bot that has my name. This is my only streamed campaign at the moment, but stay in touch with me at Twitter and you'll find other things. Yay.
Hell yeah.
I'll be at PAX Unplugged, I think.
Sweet. Not being at PAX Unplugged because she hates us and is going to Europe. Little Red Dot, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Little Red Dot. You can find me online as such, where I play lots of games and tell lots of stories with lots of amazing people, like these folks here. And I'm going to be doing that in a lot of different places coming up very soon. On my channel right now, you can catch Witch Girl Adventures and the Purloin Code, which is a Scum and Villainy campaign. The Owl, of course. Marcy's game will be showed up, I think, this Sunday, next Sunday. Every other Sunday on the channel. We're over there playing some Cypher System. And you can catch me on Saturdays with Vampire. And to top it off, all the crew over at Roll For It, who I play Vampire with, have invited me over to the UK. So you can tune in Thanksgiving weekend, Americans Thanksgiving weekend, for extended games. And I will actually physically be there in person. And we'll be doing a meetup with fans and all kinds of things. So it's going to be very exciting. And then this time next year, October 11th through the 18th, I believe, if you're feeling some D&D and you're feeling a cruise, you can come hang out with me at D3 at Sea, where I'll be taking a cruise and we'll be playing some D&D. We're going from Vancouver to LA, stopping in Seattle, seeing some wizards, getting some swag bags, playing some games.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
And directly following that cruise, if I have my say, which technically I do, you will probably see all of us at Nerdarchy the Convention in October 30th, Halloween weekend in Philly. Because I'm the stream director, which means I just get to tell all the streamers that they should be there and then pick the ones that get to come, which is kind of neat. But last but not least, our wonderful GM for dealing with whatever we did the first half of the show, and then for terrorizing us in the after show. Colin, I just noticed there's a penis on the screen. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to? Did no one else see that?
Hi, I am Colin Like I See on Twitter. I am one half of the Phantom Roll Booth. We're a creative firm that does a variety of streaming and tabletop content. You can find me Saturdays on Eric Bulgaris' channel, playing Miseries and Misfortunes, the latest game from Luke Crane.
Yep.
On Monday, you can find me on Eric Bulgaris' channel with Jim Davis playing the Great Pendragon Campaign. It is like one of my white whales of gaming. It is a game that is on my checklist to not just play Pendragon, but the Great Pendragon Campaign, following a family of knights through 80 years of Arthurian history. It's going to be great.
Damn.
Yeah, it's super intimidating. And the final thing is you can find I'm going to be published in the Eat the Rich anthology, an anthology of anti-capitalist themed D&D adventures that is coming out soon. The first volume is coming out. I'm in volume 3 with an adventure called A Minor Requiem, but there's a pun in there. You have to read the word minor. Get the pun. It's not a verbal pun.
Cute.
I got really cute.
I have to check that out. I love that.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That's really cool.
I dig it. With that, this has been episode 2 of Symbaroum, the Triptych. Next episode, come back next week for that one and watch us get eaten by whatever the hell that creature was and die and make new characters for the next week. It's been super fun. We'll see you guys in Discord. And from all of you guys, bye-bye.